Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am your host. I am so excited to be with you here and now to go over a fabulous product with a new fabric that we're thrilled to go over with you today. So this is going to be the Clek Liingo. I have always been a fan of Clek car seats. Candidly, I am friends with the owner of the brand, both him and his wife. I've known them for as long as I've been doing this job. And there's some things about the Clek seats that are pretty fabulous. So if you're unfamiliar with Clek, they are a Canadian brand. They've been around for as long as I've been working. So going on almost 20 years. Their seats are made in Canada. Their seats are recyclable. They do a whole variety of seats, but the one that we're excited to focus on today is going to be this Lingo. So Ling is Clek's infant seat that includes a base when you purchase it. Lingo is going to be the Clek infant seat that you can purchase without a base. So what's really nice is that it's offered just in one color. So Clek usually does car seats in a lot of fun, fabulous colors, which is always great. But for a product like this, offering it in one fabulous color might make more sense. And so what we've got here is this really beautiful black with an incredibly light pinstripe on it called Railroad. So Railroad's been available before from Clek. But what's particularly exciting is that this new Railroad for 2024 has a zipper fabric. So this is an infant seat. We should start there, right? So an infant seat means it's exclusively rear facing. Infant seat also means it is portable with a carrying handle. So this is a seat that we're going to be able to use for a newborn. So 4 pounds through to, I made a little sheet here just to make sure I didn't miss anything, 4 pounds to 30 pounds and up to 32 inches tall. This also is a fabulous option because this can click onto a large variety of strollers. So you don't have to buy the same brand. You can buy a multitude of brands. And this car seat with the correct adapters will be able to go directly onto the stroller. Now, the other nice part about that is that when you remove it from the stroller, it's going to be squeezing the handle on the back to take it off. So it's a single hand squeeze release to remove it from either a stroller or a base. Now, you might say, but you said it doesn't come with a base. That's right. Lingo doesn't include the base in the purchase price, but what's so awesome is that if you decide you do want to purchase their base, which you can buy for $250, it will drop onto it. So we'll get into that in a second. But right now for this video, we're mostly focused on the exciting things about using it baseless, because that's kind of like what's cool about that. All right, so we were talking about it's an infant seat, backward only facing. Why this matters is that having the zip-off material on an infant seat is a fabulous feature. If they wet, that goes through their diapers, or if they vomit, or if they, especially if they vomit, the odor can be really overwhelming. Even if you spot treat a seat, it's generally preferred to remove the fabric and then wash it entirely. Clek is going to make that easy for you by having this zipper run around the exterior of the seat. And so you're able to peel the fabric out and go ahead and throw that in the washer. And then once it's dry, you're going to be able to put it back on very easily with the zipper. So honestly, where's this been my whole life? This is such a marked improvement over any other type of improvement that's like tangible for consumers to actually have a really, really strong value to. And the best part about this is that they did not increase the cost of the seat. So this seat retails for $299. You can use it easily for the first year because it'll hold 32 pounds and, 32 inches and 30 pounds. The other thing that's exciting about Clek's 2024 seats, so anything 2024 and newer, is going to offer Clek's limited lifetime warranty. So you're like, what does that mean? Well, car seats have two things on them, right? They have an expiration date. That means their useful duration of life. And then they will have a warranty. So a lot of times a seat might expire like 8 or 9 years down the road, but you only are warranted for the first year. So while that's like theoretically great that it has a long expiration. It's also nice to have a warranty, because if you have a newborn and you use this seat and then 2 or 3 years later you want to reuse this seat, yes, it's not expired, but in addition to not being expired, it's also going to be still warranted. So that is a new feature that they're offering on seats produced after 2024. If you have an older seat, it wouldn't qualify, but if you're buying a new one, really fabulous feature. So that is the new limited lifetime warranty. And the other thing to know about this seat is this seat has an expiration date of 9 years from manufacture. So if you're gonna have 2 children, this seat, or even more, this seat should give you enough timeline, meaningful time, to be able to use the seat for the life of needing to use it for your kids. So that's pretty fabulous. The other thing about this railroad fabric that I just want to make sure that I mention is that it's PFOA free, PFOS free, PFC free, and PFAS free. It is fluorine free. It is free of brominated and chlorinated flame retardants. And railroad, this color in particular, is free of any added flame retardants. And this color is also Oeko-Tex Standard 100 certified. So this is like the whole thing with Clek, and forgive me to the owners, they are so serious about like doing things the right way. They manufacture their products in Canada. All of their products are recyclable. They had for a long time a recycling program. I'm pretty sure they still do, which is unreal. Bumble Ride's really the only other active brand, and they make strollers that has like that information on how to recycle their products, so readily available. So as far as like being an ethical brand, being one that's truthful with consumers about what they're providing, I think Clek does an incredible job. So I love that. Lingo, the other thing about Lingo to sort of be aware of is that there are a couple baseless seats out on the market right now, and we are going to talk about other ones in a comparison video, not this video, but Lingo was the first seat out on the market with the option to be able to be used with lower anchors without the base. So if you're wondering why that matters, I think it's important to understand that this seat is in existence to meet a need, but it wasn't created specifically for that need. The other seats that we're going to be looking at probably are designed a little bit differently than this one. So what that means is, when I was talking to the owner of this brand, Chris, about this seat, the other thing too, just FYI, amazing sunshade. It's an SPF 50. It has a vent on the back with magnets. The seat weighs, with all the infant inserts in it, probably like 11 pounds, but with that stuff removed, it's 9 pounds. And you take that infant insert stuff out pretty rapidly. So we'll just say it's like around a 9-pound mark. So Lingo was first to the market. And like, when I was talking to Chris about this seat, he's my point person there, he agreed with me that in best practice scenario, we would install this seat most likely with a seat belt to be able to utilize European belt routing method. Now that means when we set the seat in, this seat is awesome because there's blue on it to call out the rear facing belt path. So I have a video kind of explaining different car seat things just in general. But if we hook this guy up, the nice part is if you're gonna engage the European belt routing method, so like in the 1980s, right? Our moms, they would just hook up the car seat, our parents, I should say. We shouldn't assume. Our parents would hook up our car seat like that, and then they'd sort of be done. So the problem with this is that the headpiece, the seat can still rock in this direction. And if we have that movement that way, that arching down from that primary impact, the seat can sometimes have lift up that way. So European belt routing method, which is where the seat belt comes behind the seat, is going to be awesome because it's going to mitigate that primary impact, which means that after we lock the seatbelt off, this is a switchable locking retractor. So now it's locked off. We want to hear that retraction sound, have that go in, have this line up. But the idea is that because this is tight and it's going around the head, if the seat surges that way, the seatbelt's holding the headpiece underneath. So if the seat can't rock that way, it's not going to slam back up in the other direction. Now, that being said, there is just sometimes a need for people to be able to use a car seat without the docking station, but in a more efficient or a faster method than what I just showed you. So the big thing with car seats is that they need to be able to install with both a seatbelt and a lower anchor in order to be like sold as a complete car seat. So this seat was the first to the market with separate set of lower anchors, which are attached to the seat that you can just hook up instead of doing the seatbelt. So what that means is that, like, let's say you're on vacation and you're going somewhere with your partner or your spouse or whomever, and the two of you are sitting in the back seat of a cab, and you know, you've got your third position, and for whatever reason the seatbelt is just like inaccessible or the buckle is a poor placement, you can go ahead and set the seat in and use your lower anchor connectors instead of that seatbelt. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Now again, this does not substitute for reading your instruction manual and doing it the perfect way as indicated by Clek's instruction manual, which is very clear, illustrative, excellent, in both French and English, I'm sure. It's probably a Spanish one too. Again, you're gonna make this sure the seat is level, and then instead of having to lock the seatbelt off, which I just did before, and you saw sometimes how annoying that can be, we're gonna go ahead and tighten this. You would probably get this piece to be further down so it wouldn't look so unattractive. You just tighten it up, and then that seat's not going anywhere. Now, Chris agrees with me that in a perfect world, we have something to mitigate that primary impact. However, for the need that this is meeting, which is just being able to be used in certain random situations with lower anchor, without seatbelt, without the base, Lingo has got you covered. Now the nice part is, if you add a base, you can leave the base in your car and pop the car seat on and off of it if you decide that that is of value to you. So let's say you have a 0 vehicle household, you start using this product, within 6 months of having your baby, you suddenly become a 1 vehicle household, and you find that it makes more sense to be able to use it with the docking station, go ahead and buy it. You can use it. That's the cool thing. It's your decision. It's not like they're forcing you to do anything. And the nice part is that you have the flexibility to install the seat with lower anchors, with or without a base, and then obviously with a seatbelt with the base or without the base. So very cool features. The storage component for the lower anchors is in the back of the seat. The other thing to keep in mind is this seat is a manual rethread harness, meaning that as your baby gets larger, you're going to physically rethread the car seat harness to higher or lower, or well, it'll be higher spots because they're getting taller, but some of these car seats you can just scoot up without having to do a manual rethread. This guy is going to be a manual rethread. That doesn't bother me. I think the single hand squeeze release from removing it for the base or the stroller is like 1,000,000 times more useful thing to care about than like a rethread harness, because if you've ever laced a shoelace, a rethread harness is just as easy, if not easier. You should be good. Okay, it's 16.9 inches wide. I'm trying to think if there's anything else super critical to cover here. Clek's just awesome. If you're really into safety, Clek's gonna have you covered probably better than most brands. But again, made in Canada, fully recyclable, very transparent, very ethical company. Love the product, love being able to use it on so many different strollers. And this railroad fabric is incredible, especially with the zip, and especially that they didn't raise the price. Chris, I'm kind of annoyed. You should have raised the price and we could all make more money. No, I'm just kidding. This is fabulous. I think parents will appreciate that, and I think the color choice is really nice. So if you have questions or comments about Lingo, please feel free to leave them below. Please feel free to hit like. Please feel free to subscribe. You can order this directly off my website, destinationbabykids.com. Now keep in mind, this one I actually got from Canada directly from Chris because they're sold out right now because this railroad fabric with the zip is brand new, but you can pre-order it from us if you are so inclined. All right, yeah. Sharing is caring. If this video makes sense to share with someone, please go ahead and do that. And I am covering some other baseless car seats. So if you want to check out any of those videos, feel free. And then also my compare and contrast video of the 3 baseless car seats that I carry. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.